So if there's any doubt, do we get any good downpours or thunderstorms in the Chesapeake Bay? Oh yeah, baby. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Oh my god, we gotta close the side window. Alright, sorry about that. I didn't realize the side window was open. No wonder we were getting wet. Woo-wee! Just want to take a quick minute here to go over what the situation is. So it is Monday, August 3rd, and it's 10:20 in the evening. We are sitting in Deltaville in Virginia. This is, well, I guess it's tropical storm, not a hurricane, but tropical storm Isaias. You can see right here, this is in the Charleston area. Charleston right now is looking at 27, is that right now? Yep, 27 knots of wind. This app is Predict Wind that I'm looking at right now. There's several different apps that we use just to cross-reference and make sure everything is lining up. So this is the path of the storm. It should be to us, so we are, let me just zoom out here. We're at the top of that little green dot right there. And then if we play this through for the night, let's play that through. Okay, so this is going through the night. You see the storm traveling up north, going through Cape Lookout and the Wilmington area, past Hatteras, up through the Chesapeake, and continuing up towards New York and even up towards Maine and Canada. So hopefully everybody fares well. We're looking at gusts probably in the 40s, unless this thing picks up speed out at sea before, as it goes around Hatteras and heads up our way. If it picks up speed, then we could be looking at something a lot stronger, but we'll check it out first thing tomorrow morning. We are as prepared as we're going to be. Everybody here put in pretty much a full day. The staff at the marina was making sure everybody's boats were nicely tied up. So we're just starting to get the first round of a little drizzle. So still kind of the quiet before the big storm. Everybody's kind of rolled up their windows just to let all the air completely pass through. So once the winds are, blowing at 40, gusting to 60 or whatever is going to come through here, this is all wide open. I'm going to turn off our electronics here. All right, so this is it. You can see out in the little cove out here, the rain is starting to come down. We're just in a light drizzle, and this is 12 hours out from the forecasted arrival. Wake up. Hello? So here's the head sail. We got to get ready for a tropical storm. Oh, I forgot how to say it. Isaias. I'm just going to call it Tropical Storm Irene. Who names these storms? We need to come up with something a little easier. Okay, so here we are. We've got the jib wrapped nice and tight. This is ready to go. The other things we need to do in preparation isn't going to be up here, but what we want to make sure is that the boat is not going to travel in this direction or back and forth. We have a fair amount of freeboard. For those of you that know what that is, freeboard is the amount of exposed hull that we have, which we have a fair amount of above the water line. So it's basically like, imagine holding a big sheet of plywood when the winds are kicking, and you would obviously get pushed. So it's the same thing that happens here. We need to make sure that our lines are ready. I'm gonna end up adding some spring lines. As you can see, this side is not the dominant working side, so these guys are pretty slack, but we've got a spring line, so this keeps us from going forward and over. That spring line will keep us from going out, but I'm going to run a spring line from midships here back to that cleat. We already have 2 at the transom, so one's running across over to the starboard side. Let me show this one. So one's line is running here to starboard, and from port running over to the dock on that side. So you've got the crisscross so that we're holding the boat in place in the back here. This is my one area of concern, that when the storm comes through here and we're really rocking, we shouldn't see a lot of movement, but I don't want to see us come back this way, because obviously hitting that dock is not cool for the marina owners and for us. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna tighten this up. Let me show you what I was talking about on freeboard, so you can see how much freeboard we have, the amount of boat that is sticking up out of the water. So when the wind comes and blows against here, it is going to move us this off towards port, and it's going to try to push us out. So this is what we have set up already here. We've got a spring line forward and aft. We've got a bow line. The hard thing here is I can't get these lines to stay up, because there aren't enough of those fender kind of rubber, these guys, like things like this. There's not enough of this on that forward pylon, so all the dock lines, as you can see, all sink down to the bottom. So I'm probably going to have to extend that bow line a little bit, because as we rise and fall, we have about a 2-foot tidal range here. So you need to make sure that that line in the front has enough length to it so that it can adjust as the boat goes down for low tide and comes up for high tide. If you tie those things way too tight, especially and mainly high tide, that line will become very taut, very tight, and if it was really truly too short, then you risk ripping cleats off the boat and damaging things. So we're going to make sure that all of this stuff here is going to be nice and clean and tight. We've got fenders in place here. This right here is not a floating dock, so we've got 2 fenders in place for high tide and low tide, so we're covered in that range. And then you can see there's a fender up front for that front pylon. We have fenders on the port side, although I highly doubt they're gonna ever see any action. But we have our three fenders on this side, and this gives you a good idea of the amount of freeboard that OliLuki has. This worries me a little bit because it is pretty tight and not bad, but you know, again, the problem is that these you put your dock lines on and they're sliding down the pylon. You can see our neighbors' lines here, they're just short of falling in the water. So let's see if we can give this just a little more slack. Okay, this is tied in nicely. We'll see what happens tomorrow morning. I may tighten this up just to give us some rigidity so we're not sloshing side to side. We'll have to make sure, I'm going to double check these guys, make sure that power lines and everything are safely in place. Okay, let me get another dock line. We'll see if we can do another spring. So you always want to make sure your dock lines go out and under the lifelines, never over, because it's not going to be pretty when the boat starts pulling on that line over the top side of these lifelines. So again, as you can see, or I hope you guys can see, dock line is on the outside here, and then we're going to toss it onto the dock, walk out, and tie it off. Okay, so this will keep us from heading out into the fairway. I think I need to get up there and we'll lash. You can see how they've tightened down the stack pack. So these 2 little fenders here, I'm probably going to take those out And I don't think I have much of anything else. Everything else is snapped or strapped down. So these are in place. The other thing to remember, you can see the plug, the drain plug. Make sure the drain plug is always out as you haul the boat out. Pull the plug because, especially here on the East Coast, there's rainstorms and, you know, little squalls that go blowing through that dump a ton of water, and so you don't want this thing filling up. Just want to take a quick look around and make sure all our lines are doing their job. Alright, so we just got a tornado warning, National Weather Service tornado warning for this area for the next 30 minutes. Boats, stay safe. Alright, 6:15 a.m. I guess hurricane now, Isaias is upon us. It is, I believe, now completely left the Carolinas, and it's up into Virginia, up into the Chesapeake. You can see here crazy winds we're dealing with here. Let's see what the winds are at 38 knots. It's not too bad. It's been gusting. I saw a couple gusts up into the 40s. As long as it's gusts of wind and not sustained, we should be fine. See all the lines out that are working the working sheet. So we'll see how this all plays out. Weather radar is quite colorful. There's some gusts into the almost 40. The camera still with this much wind blowing through here. Yeah, you know, when it's raining this hard and the wind is blowing, it's like needles hitting you. The rain actually hurts. Alright, so we are in the thick of it now. It is 6:30 in the morning, and all weather models are showing the storm upon us. It is in the Chesapeake, headed up the coast. Truly, the one good piece of news here is that this is not a stalled out system, so it's not hanging out anywhere for very long. This should be past us by around 10 o'clock this morning is what the updates are showing. So we have about 3.5 hours left of this. You know, when it comes to vessel stability, if you take a look at our mast here, we're barely moving, kind of a little bit side to side. But you look at all the monohulls that are just teetering back and forth like a pendulum. There's a heck of a lot more movement. This would give you an idea of what it would be like.
Ready to go inside, change your clothes?
Reporting live from Deltaville, Virginia. Anyway, hopefully this is all gone in a few hours. And the funny thing is, if you look at the weather, it's showing sunshine for this afternoon. So to that I say amen. Bring it on. Okay, I'm gonna go do a walkabout. I feel extremely grateful that we're sitting in a marina with 9 dock lines and fenders all around our boat. Really interesting. I mean, there's no rain, at least not right now. I don't know, maybe the rains are gone. The skies have definitely lightened. All right, well, I won't say that it's completely gone, but it seems to have passed through here with a fury. The storm is pretty darn quiet now, and everybody seems to be coming out of their shell. You know, to be honest, it's not as bad as obviously it could have been. Some of the stuff that was forecasted was showing that we were going to be getting 60 to 70 knots of wind, and we never saw that here, thankfully. Things have really died down. I'm actually amazed how fast this came through, because everything was showing that we were going to have weather till 11:30 this morning, around noon, and then it would clear up. Now, I'm not saying it's gone, but these clouds are moving really fast. I want to say thank you to these guys, to the staff and crew here at Fishing Bay Marina for being so kind to all of us. They checked on everybody. They've been out here since 5 this morning and checking on all the boats. They rescued several boats that kind of came loose a little bit. All right, well, things have finally died down. Let's see if we can get some breakfast going. I'm gonna call the storm officially over. There is sunshine. Look at those beautiful wispy clouds. The storm has moved on at quite the rapid pace. We have sun out the front window, and what better time to have some golden brown pancakes. Yummy, yummy. You guys are still in your pajamas and you got messy bedtime here, but what did you think about the storm?
It was bad.
It was a little scary?
It's over.
You think, was it a little scary?
No.
No? Well, you were sleeping. You slept through most of it. Well, after the absolute crazy thunderstorms, hurricanes, everything else that's blown through here at the Chesapeake, you can see today is a beautiful day. Beautiful. Oh, there's another catamaran out there. So I'm filming this real quick because you see that beautiful yacht that's towing its tender behind it. I took some pictures with the telephoto lens just to get a nice shot of it. And the side of the name of the boat is Usher. Now, I don't know if it's the singer Usher, but given the fact that there's been a variety of celebrities' yachts sighted here in the Chesapeake, I wouldn't doubt it. It is a beautiful, really a beautiful boat. Anyway, here it is, another fantastic, beautiful day in the Chesapeake. So I think our only comment about the Chesapeake that we have not enjoyed thus far is it turns out that it's jellyfish season, and they're everywhere. Now, of course, I say that and I don't see any, but they are everywhere. There's these little white jellyfish all over the place, and I guess they're only around for the 2 months or something like that. So pretty much the entire time that we will be here. But we're going to see if we can drop the dinghy today and go for a run. It is, look at that coastline over there. There are some beautiful homes. Really, really pretty.